Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye-ya, 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 yeah. All hollow and shit, right? And in Menudo in a direct fashion, man, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on also. That way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support. I am pissed, right? One of my subscribers brought this story up to me, man. Told me to Google it, look into it. And he was absolutely correct. But I'm feeling some type of way about this story, right? So, and after I'm done, I implore to you out there, everybody that love your gente, man, to Google this guy's name and trip out on the story yourself. Get the details, man. Fact check it, because it's it's absurd, man. This is crazy. I have my point of view, and we'll see if you agree. Anyways, there's a kid. He was 18 years old at the time, man. Virgilio fucking Aguilar Mendez, of Mayan descent from Guatemala, right? So, and it's crazy because I've been locked up with the guy from Mexico that was a Oaxacan but spoke a different dialect of Spanish, right? Mexicanos couldn't even understand him. He kicked it with the paisas. There was plenty of times they were like, hey, can you translate, right? Can I translate, right? And I was like, fucker, if you don't understand it, I definitely don't. I don't even understand you, right? He spoke a different dialect, so it was an indigenous dialect, old school. Well, this kid is also, or this kid in this story is from Mayan descent from Guatemala. And he was at a Super 8 hotel, just in the front, munching, man, eating his food, minding his own business. He was staying in this room with other migrant workers. So they were out there working the fields, man, doing their things. Pobrecitos, man. I feel so sorry because I've worked the fields with Mexicanos, to see what they put up with and what they go through just to work hard for their familia to send money back to Mexico. It's a cold game. See, man, I was a hustler too, though. I'm going to tell you a story. But I used to go back and forth, every day home, drive out there, do the tomato thing. But these guys would go with the farm. Sometimes they travel with the work, right? So they'd be doing fucking tomatoes for a couple months, then they'll go to do camotes for another month or two, then cebolla, onions, then they'll go to the apricots and then the peaches. They followed the work, man, because they worked year round. Myself, I'm trying to get enough to stack for a key so I can start slanging. But this is not a laughing matter. This kid is in front of the Super 8 hotel when an older officer passes by and sees him. Okay, he's minding his business. He's not doing no criminal activity. He's not drugged out. He's sitting in the front or standing in the front of this hotel, which he has a room there, eating. Probably just got off work, worked all day, man. Little 7-Eleven burrito, doing whatever he could do, man. Like I said, I seen vatos live like that, so I know what it is. 6, 7 fucking vatos on 2 beds, just trying to make money, man. My people, they work hard. You can't never deny that Mexicanos, Latinos are the hardest workers in the world, because it's the fucking truth. Everyone would tell you. The woods would be like, but we got coffee, right? So this kid's in the front and this officer stops. Harassment, jumps off the whip, arrogant like they are, and decides to press up on this youngster and wants to see what he's doing. So he starts to question him. Now understand, like I told you in the beginning of the spiel, this youngster doesn't even speak Spanish. So maybe the white officer could have halfway understood him, but he couldn't, right? This guy spoke a Mayan dialect, a whole different dialect. So when the officer is talking to him, he's trying to communicate, but he doesn't understand. So he starts to apologize to the officer. That's what everyone does. I've seen a lot of paisas, no, right? And then they'll start to apologize like they've done something wrong. And it incriminates them because it makes the officer believe that maybe they are into something. He's apologizing, no, sorry, right? This cop snatches him up, boom, slams him to the ground. And the kid's trying to plead his case. What are you doing? What's going on? He's young, other people come out of the rooms. They're looking. What the fuck is going on? And his homies aren't going to say nothing. They're paisas. They're probably illegal, undocumented. So they're not. One thing about paisas, they don't want no smoke when it comes to the cops. None. Zero. Hey, you'll see the paisas. They're always driving the speed limit with a fucking little sticker on the back of their bumper that says Jesus saves. Right? They're trying to blend in. Hey, no tags and shit. They think they're doing smooth, right? Pobrecitos. But So his friends are not going to say nothing. There's no one to speak up for him. He's a youngster. He's a kid, right? That doesn't understand English, and they can't understand him. So this officer, in the midst of slamming this kid because the kid wasn't doing what he was saying, but the kid didn't understand. That's like a motherfucker going, and I'm supposed to, what does that mean? Fucking get my hand off my dick? I don't know, right? I don't understand. So this kid didn't understand. So of course this cop, being aggressive, already basically judging the book by its cover. People are going to say it was racial. Was it? I don't know. It seems that way, right? But basically fucking, the way he described, well, he didn't get a chance to describe it. The way other officers described it is this kid was resisting. So he slams him on the ground. In the midst of slamming him on the ground, the kid's screaming and he's getting choked out. He starts to tase him. Okay? Now, I understand, and if an officer feels that his life is being threatened, or a fucking suspect in what? This kid was just eating a fucking burrito from Taco Bell, right? But if he feels that he's in danger, the righteous thing to do, I guess you would say, would pull out his taser, try to restrain this kid, cuff him so he can figure it out, right? So he does that. It's better than what happened to the kid at the BART station over there in, Fruitvale station, just pulling out the cuete and getting with it. Most officers, man, that are involved in suspect shootings just pull the shit out and then later on try to fucking tell you why. They try to justify it. Anyway, so he pulls out the taser. He's tasing this kid. It is what it is, right? In the midst of this tussle and this kid getting shocked and probably fucking going into shock and wondering what's going on, pobrecito the kid, this officer goes into cardiac arrest and dies, right? Very unfortunate all the way around. So now this kid is cuffed. A suspect in God only knows what. He couldn't understand and I don't understand. I guess he's a suspect for being brown eating a burrito in front of a hotel. He looks suspicious, right? Ain't that's what they always say. I remember one time I went to go get a pack of frajos and I was all tatted down. I was wearing my wife beater, and my little hat. I'm just mobbing. High socks, whatever. And these cops, and I was right there by my fucking, my Jefas pad, right? So I'm mobbing. And they're coming this way, and these fuckers looked at me, homes, like they wanted to kill me. Straight up. 2 cops, right? And they fucking hit their lights and started to circle. And I was right there by my mom's pad, and I just slid up into the fucking property, and she was out there. And she was like, what? She told the cops, what? Like, because I ain't did shit. And they just mean mugged me, turned off the lights, and slowly passed. Hit a circle one more time. I was out there smoking a frau. Nervous than a motherfucker, right? I was a suspect. I was a suspect for being brown with too many tattoos, I guess, right? Thank God I didn't get tased because I wasn't in the tasing mood that day. I would have fought back and then probably got locked up like this kid. Okay, so here's where the story kicks off and goes crazy. So this guy goes into cardiac arrest. Other officers arrive on the scene, paramedics, whatever. Fuck what this kid's going through, all tased up and handcuffed. And Burrito just sitting there and the fucking cucarachas already tearing it up. Pobrecito, the kid worked all day, can't even eat his burrito. His homies are trying to explain, but again, they don't speak English, so they're trying to explain. They don't even know what was going on, what this kid had done. Maybe he stole the burrito from fucking 7-Eleven. One never knows, does one. But this cop succumbs to his what he was going through, right? He had pre-existing conditions of high cholesterol, high blood pressure. So he shouldn't have even really been on the job with these type of conditions, but it is what it is. He was working, whatever. This cop wasn't known to be a racist cop. He wasn't known to be a bad cop. He was just a regular officer that had, it was his job. Whatever he decided that he seen that night with this kid that made him suspicious, whether it was, like I said, a brown kid with a burrito, or maybe the kid was looking a little agitated because he was probably undocumented. And most people, when they're undocumented illegal, they're going to get a little fucking nervous. They're going to be like, it's going to look like they're on scante, or maybe he was on the good sconce. Little coca never hurt nobody. The paisas, they wiggle. Little bucanas, little coca, party time. Vivo de tres animales. But I highly doubt it. I think this kid was an innocent kid that was just in the front. Wrong place, wrong time. So this guy dies. So now they've arrested the kid. Okay? An innocent kid that really, they weren't able to communicate with this officer initially to find out why he had even detained him or stopped him or went into tasing him or nothing. This kid is arrested now for manslaughter. Okay? Because the cop passed in the commission of trying to apprehend the suspect for suspicion of God knows what. They don't even know suspicion of being alive, I guess, because he passes already with pre-existing conditions. They have now charged this kid, this 18-year-old. He's 19 years old now. It's been a year since he's been locked up. And this happened in St. John's, wherever the fuck that's at. I just breezed through the thing. I almost threw up. I hate it when the brown man suffers the fate at the hands of some bullshit, right? But this guy, this little kid, youngster, he's a fucking little kid, man. His life is gonna be gone, or at least not gone, but he's gonna get some time. He's gonna get a nice chunk of time for being a brown man. Period. How the fuck do they charge? Because this cop passed out in the past, they're gonna charge this kid with manslaughter like it was because of him. It's all because of you. Hey, homie, look, if a cop pulls me over righteously, right, and I got a busted tail light, and then some other vato hits him on the side of the freeway because he doesn't see him, do I catch the case for that? All because of a busted tail light? If I'm transporting bodies in my trunk, God forbid, no one ever finds out. But if I'm doing that, right, and of course in the commission of that, I'm fucking refusing, and I grab the cop's taser and I tase him and he has a heart attack, yes, get me. I assaulted him. I'm done. This kid did not assault this officer, was not really refusing being detained, was just trying to understand and apologizing. And because there was a language barrier there, this is what happened. Now, this is what I honestly believe is going to happen. I believe this kid ultimately is going to be convicted on this unless the people speak out. Unless people that hear this story forward the story and push this story like I'm doing, so that way people know exactly what it is, man. Because it's unfortunate that this kid is going to suffer for this. Whether he's illegal, none of that matters. None of that should matter. These are the type of stories that have people all spooked. Well, if they wouldn't have came over, these are the fabric of America, the backbone of America. Mexicanos, Latinos, Guatemalans, Nicaraguans, Hondurans, everything. Hey, homie, say what you want to say, but these are the people that are building your homes, laying your concrete, doing your rebar, doing your sheetrock, fucking roofing, picking the fruits, the vegetables. They're the fabric and the backbone of America. Without them, we're hungry and we ain't got no house. Because guess what? Everyone else is too busy fucking kicking your door in and robbing you, or huffing and puffing and blowing your shit down while these guys are building it back up. So I feel they should be respected, illegal or not. I am of an understanding, a conservative person, where I understand and I agree there should be some type of verification and do it the right way. But at the end of the day, it's things like this that people hear about and they're like, oh, it was because he was illegal and the cop died. No, the cop died because he fucking was fat and he fucking ate too much fucking cheeseburgers. Just being real. And it's nothing against the officers. I'm not trying to cause that conflict. It's unfortunate this has even happened, and condolences to his family, but let's keep it real here. Why did he stop the kid? That's the mystery. If there was no initial crime, if there was no initial reason to, any cop, if he feels some type of way, he can question anyone. That's their God-given right. Just like it's our right to refuse to answer the questions, right? And to prove an innocent or guilty or however the fuck it goes. I forgot. It's been that long. Thank God, right? They give you Miranda rights, and my name ain't Miranda, so I have the right to say fuck you. But them rights, when they're read, you can refuse. They can't be upset with you because you don't want to say nothing. You don't have to tell them who you are. You don't have to produce identification. You can just get locked up, Holmes, and they can figure it out on your fingerprint later on. So I could understand this kid, and there being a language barrier definitely was a big influence in this case. So here's my thing. How can we change this from happening? Well, you can't change people that are racially profiling. That's never going to stop. That's never going to change. People are always going to do that. We do that in everyday life without even realizing it or knowing it. That's just like me when I say, the woods like coffee, brother. Not all of them do. I know that. I'm just fucking around. Brothers like chicken. Well, yeah, they do. But pretty much. But it's racial profiling. Mexicans like tacos. You know what I mean? Shit. Whites like them more than Mexicans. They have Taco Tuesday. They even have a holiday after that shit. We just do it on the daily. But do you see how it's kind of like racial profiling? We all do it, man. We have fun with it. We're not doing it where no one's getting hurt by it. Maybe some hurt feelings, but not in real life. So this guy racial profiling this kid or whatever he chose to do. Like I said, it's his God-given right to ask a question. He's an officer. Myself, I'm going to answer questions up to a certain point, because if I'm innocent, I ain't done nothing. I ain't got nothing to hide, right? If I did something, fuck you. I ain't saying shit. I'm on my Cat Williams shit, right? Well, wait up. Cat said too much. Strike that. Reverse it. Willy Wonka. So look, anyways, I'm upset though. Fucking this kid that doesn't even know what's up, doesn't even know why he's locked up. I'm sure he does now. Is caught a manslaughter charge over something that didn't even fucking, you know what I mean? Hey, that vato ate one chicken nugget too many, and boom, it just didn't work out for him. You know, I don't believe he had to get as aggressive as he did. I believe if he was a righteous officer and laced and educated right is what we need to do to these officers. Educate them right in the fundamentals of what it really means to communicate with people. See, a lot of these guys, they want that clout, they want that job, they want the money. It's understandable, but they're not people persons. You need a person that's willing and able to be calm, be a pillar of the community that they work in, have certain standards, and at the same time, smart, ain't I? And at the same time, be a people person and communicate. Communication could change the world. It would go a long way if people would just fucking talk it out instead of walking it out. What I believe they need to do is when you have someone that doesn't speak the English language, immediately, not detain them, but call in an interpreter. If they run, whatever, okay, tase the fuck out of them if that's what you feel you have to do. But call an interpreter in there. In this case, fuck, you would have had to call someone from the fucking Mayan region, right? You'd have to call Oletek and Olak, right, to come fuck with it. But really, the vato would have got there, he'd have been like, Olak. That little paisita would have been like, vale verga. Right, that's it. They would have had their conversation. He would have been like, oh, he's just here eating a burrito, eh? That's it. His name is Olak, right? And that's it. You almost had him. But no, truth be told, it's just unfortunate. And people are trying to make it into a racial thing. Is this kid being racially profiled? Is it a racial thing because he is brown that they're doing this to him? I don't think so. To be honest with you, I believe the initial stop with this officer did have racial tendencies to it. I believe he thought he was a suspect or suspicious because he was a darker shade of brown. I just believe so. No one could ever change my mind on that, man. There are people that do that. You know, people say, no, it wasn't because of that. Then what the fuck was it? You can't eat burritos past 10 o'clock at night? Or what? Damn, is that the new law? If that's the case, fuck, lock me up right now. I say, you know what I mean? Because shit, I'm going to get my burritolization on tonight. Con chicharrón y todo. But, I don't think that them holding them accountable for this, I think this is the law of the land. I think, you know, there are cases where I've seen people that, it's like this. If your homeboy goes into a store, say your homeboy picks you up, hey, fool, let's go kick it with some tortas. Fuck yeah, and the winner is our, right? And he's like, hey, I'm going to stop and get some pisto. I'm going to give it a 12-pack so we can get them all drunk, eh? So we can take advantage and shit, you know? Whatever, right? He's on his hype. And you're posted up right there and you're like, hey, give me some jujubes. And the vato goes in and something happens and he decides to pull a cuet out or rob or do whatever he does. You don't even know. You're in that motherfucker bumping too short. Don't fight the feeling. And he kills the dude and he comes down and he's like, hurry up, let's go, bro. I had to smoke. Oh boy, you're like, oh shit. And you bust the corner, there's cops there, get down. Guess what? You're locked up for the murder too. Whether you knew about it or not, you were involved in the commission of a crime, right? I've seen people locked up for that, real life. I've seen burglars break into homes, break the window, get stabbed by the glass as they're breaking in, and then turn around and sue the people that own the home because they got injured while breaking into their home and win. Right? It's a crazy world we live in. You got to look at all the technicalities and shit. So shit happens. So to me, the sad part of the story is that this undocumented poor kid, man, that was just trying to work, just trying to benefit himself and help America in the whole, has to go through this struggle and this shit. And not a lot of people are speaking about this case. So I wanted to highlight, you know, I highlight stories about prison all the time, stories about jail, stories about gangs. It's not all about that. I speak on that because I lived that life. So who better to tell you and give you knowledge you can in college than someone that fucking was on the streets like that and in prison like that. But also these are the stories that I really do this for, man, is to shed a light on the people that don't have anyone else looking out for them. Because these are the fucking people I righteously care about. So with that being said, I implore to you people, please leave a comment, man. Hit a like, view this video, share it like no other, because this is true facts, man. This kid is sitting in there for a fucking manslaughter for nada, you know? And what's going to happen? He's going to go do his time, then they're going to deport his ass. Cold game, man. You know, no one wins. With that being said, move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the struggle to strive, the strive to struggle. I'm going to continue to do what I does right here on YouTube, man, for the betterment of all people. Everybody. That's what it is, man. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. The gun indubitably will put it down. It's a hard one, man.